New satellite images have appeared online, recording the results of the Ukrainian attack on the Kirovskoye airfield in the temporarily Russian-occupied Crimea. The strikes were carried out by the Security Service of Ukraine. Satellites recorded traces of damage to 3 helicopters, and traces of a fire near the Russian Pantsir S-1 air defense missile system are also visible in the images. Details were reported by the head of the Center for the Study of Occupation Petro Andriashenko and the Dnipro Telegram channel, which specializes in OSINT. Fresh satellite images of the Kirovskoe at least partially confirmed previous statements by the SBU about the results of the attack on this facility on the night of June 28. Then, according to the service, it was possible to destroy an enemy Pantsir S-1 and 3 helicopters at once. Satellite images do indeed show traces of damage to 3 helicopters, and there are traces of a fire near the Pantsir S-1 air defense missile system, which is likely damaged, Dnipro notes. Let us recall that the SBU announced on the afternoon of June 28 that the Kirovskoye military airfield in Crimea had been hit and that the enemy had fewer Pantsir S-1 anti-aircraft missile systems and 3 helicopters. The Security Service of Ukraine has dealt another painful blow to the occupiers. This time, on the night of June 27 to 28, drones of the Ukrainian Special Service attacked the Kirovskoye military airfield in the temporarily occupied Crimea. Fire damage was inflicted on the deployment sites of the aviation component, air defense systems, ammunition storage depots, as well as reconnaissance and attack UAVs of the enemy, the statement said. As a result of the explosions, the Pantsir S-1 self-propelled anti-aircraft missile and gun system and 3 multi-purpose and attack helicopters were destroyed, including the Mi-8, Mi-26 and Mi-28. The special forces made such a gift to the Ukrainians for Constitution Day. A day after the strike, it was reported that the occupiers at the affected airfield were unable to extinguish the fire.
Ukraine's decision to withdraw from the Ottawa Convention, known as the Mine Ban Treaty, is not surprising given the gravity of the situation Ukrainians find themselves in. As the Telegraph's Tim Collins writes, since the war began, there has been constant domestic pressure on the Ukrainian government and President Volodymyr Zelensky to withdraw from the treaty, largely for pragmatic reasons of defense and in light of the fact that Russia has not signed the treaty and is an active user of landmines. Collins noted that the treaty prohibits the use, production, stockpiling or transfer of anti-personnel mines, APMs. It also requires signatories to destroy stockpiles and clear laid minefields. Ukraine ratified the treaty in 2005. The fact is that the APM is a terrible thing. This mine not only maims and kills soldiers, but also anyone who comes close, including children. They are very difficult and dangerous to clear, and they often make areas of land unusable for many years. But they are extremely effective, especially as a means of defense against an attacker, the analyst stated. Collins noted that Russia is widely using these mines in the war against Ukraine, especially after 2022, so it makes no sense for Kiev to have this significant disadvantage, designed for a world that simply does not exist. The Observer noted that the Ukrainian authorities and military have put forward the idea of withdrawing from the treaty or suspending its effect, citing the need for more effective protection of the territory and the fact that as long as Ukraine adheres to the treaty, the aggressor does not face such restrictions. In this regard, the Observer emphasized that Russia's closest neighbors, Poland, Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia and Finland, recently withdrew from this treaty, learning a lesson from the situation in Ukraine. Collins expressed the view that Ukraine's withdrawal from the treaty would likely be seen as a pragmatic move, but it would not be one that would not upset its allies. If Ukraine is no more, will it matter? I believe that needs must be met when the devil is in charge. On June the 29th, it became known that Ukraine was withdrawing from the Ottawa Convention which prohibits the use, stockpiling and production of anti-personnel mines. President Volodymyr Zelensky signed a corresponding decree. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs explained that Ukraine found itself in an unfair situation, which is why it decided to withdraw from this convention. Germany scrambled its fighter jets to intercept a Russian aircraft over the Baltic Sea in the latest incident involving Moscow's forces over the body of water dubbed a NATO lake. A Russian Ilyushin Il-20M reconnaissance plane flew over the area with its transponder switched off and without a flight plan filed before the German Air Force scrambled its aircraft. German newspaper Bild reported. A German Air Force press spokesperson confirmed the incident to Newsweek, saying on Monday that such maneuvers take place regularly over the Baltic Sea. NATO members have reported in the region a spike in incidents of Russian belligerence, of which Friday's is the latest. Since the accession of Sweden and Finland to the alliance, the Baltic Sea is called a NATO lake and given the location within it of the Russian enclave of Kaliningrad, an area of strategic military significance as tensions with Moscow continue to increase. The Russian Il-20M took off from Kaliningrad with its transponder switched off and without a flight plan filed Friday. Bild reported it was heading toward international airspace near Poland and Germany, but was detected by NATO radar, which alerted Germany's military. The Bundeswehr, which scrambled 2 Eurofighter jets from Lag Air Base near Rostock. The Eurofighter jets established visual contact with the Russian plane about 60 miles from the German coast before changing course north 25 miles from the island of Usedom, thus remaining in international airspace. The German Eurofighters returned to base just after 2 hours in an incident that comes only 2 weeks after British fighter jets based in Poland intercepted 2 Russian reconnaissance aircraft. The German Air Force press spokesperson confirmed to Newsweek that the incident took place as reported in Bild and that such maneuvers have taken place regularly over the Baltic Sea since before the beginning of the war in Ukraine. Also this month, fighter jets from Lithuania conducting NATO's air policing mission in the Baltic region were scrambled 3 times within a week to identify and escort Russian Sukhoi Su-30SM aircraft violating flight regulations. In May, NATO jets were scrambled 4 times to identify and escort Russian aircraft violating flight rules in the Baltic, and it was reported that Polish fighter jets intercepted a Russian Su-24 bomber in international airspace over the region. A German Air Force spokesperson told Newsweek, "The German Air Force is always ready for action and is well prepared for incidents of this kind." German newspaper Bild, according to a translation, said the Russian Ilyushin plane was detected by NATO radar systems and flew without radio contact from the Russian exclave of Kaliningrad, coming directly toward international airspace near Poland and Germany. Russia is likely to continue with hybrid activities in Europe and in the Baltic region, according to armed conflict location and event data, which analyzes conflict trends.